Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's One Piece Treasure Cruise video we are going to discuss and give star ratings on all of the upcoming units of the next batch, which is a treasure map batch, and this unit will come out in a treasure map Sugofest, with Luffy being the main attraction since he is the new treasure map legend. Let's start things off with him, shall we? He is a Q super type legend that of course will be treasure map exclusive and also has final tap. His final tap is not extraordinary, but he has some very interesting things about him. With his captain ability, he highly boosts Q and free spirit units, but he also boosts everyone else on the crew, so he is a universal captain, just with a lower attack multiplier. He has the generic good stuff in his captain ability. His boosting is good, 1 turn of special cooldown reduction at the start of the quest, and he makes some slots matching. He can also heal us at the end of each turn by a specific amount of his RCV, but the unique thing about him is that when our HP drops under 30%, he can automatically launch his special. That can of course be extremely strong if we manage to meet the requirements, and that is the reason it can only happen once per quest. But is his special good? First of all, he can remove 6 turns of silence, paralysis and burn, and whatever Luffy unit has utility in his kit is definitely a great unit. This Luffy being able to have a total of 12 turns of removal for these 3 debuffs is also even better, and that of course 12 turns of removal comes from his special activating once manually from the player and once automatically if we can meet the requirement from his captain ability. 12 turns of removal will very rarely, if ever, be useful in a single stage, but we can manage to have the activations in 2 different stages if we need to remove these 3 same debuffs. He has more utility with healing and manipulation of slots, even through block slots, but the manipulation of slots does not happen for the entire crew, only the top and bottom row units. Which is not the best, but it's still good enough, especially because he makes the slots rainbow, which is a type of slot not manipulatable by the enemy. Or our own crew for that matter, except if the special specifically states that they can manipulate rainbow slots. On top of all that, he can also provide damage boosting. If attack boosting is present, he provides a color affinity boost for Q and free spirit units, but if it isn't, he provides an attack boost himself for Q and free spirit units. So if we manage to get his activation twice in one stage, the damage he can provide us with is an attack boost for Q and free spirit, but also a color affinity boost. Generally for his special, I think the boosting is pretty good, but only for Q and free spirit. Even though he can be a universal captain, the boosting is not universal, keep that in mind. The slot manipulation is great. The debuff combination is not amazing though. Special bind and paralysis are definitely great. The third debuff he removes, burn, we don't see that often and sometimes we can even ignore it. But I guess the fact that the Luffy can remove special bind for 6 turns is still good enough. That of course will always be situational depending on the quest. His super type is very strong in my opinion. He needs either 2 specific characters in the crew or 1 specific character and our HP to be 30% or below, which is very cool because his super typing synergizes with his captain ability and his automatic special activation. And the characters that can help provide the super type special access are all of the Straw Hats, Yamato, Otama and Momonosuke. His effect is awesome. He can reduce 6 turns of special bind from his super type as well, so even more special bind removal. That also means he is not locked in the crewmate position to resist special bind with his sailor ability and then remove it with his special. He can also do it as a captain. The same applies of course if we don't have his super type, but we get an HP cut or we can drop our HP under 30% and then he automatically activates his special. He can still free himself and everyone else. Considering his special bind utility, he is definitely pretty similar to V2 Uta. Outside of that though, in his super type, he can actually delay all enemies, ignoring immunity, which is amazing, and then also provide a conditional attack boost versus the delayed enemies. Immediately damage boosting and uninterruptible just from his super type. The bad thing here is that his boosting is 1.75 times, which is not that high, but if you have no other way of getting a conditional attack boost, especially through immunity, it can be extremely helpful for your damage. Overall, I think this Luffy is a strong unit. I would say that the fact that he doesn't have special bind removal implemented in his captain ability can be a good and a bad thing, because you need to meet requirements to remove special bind without it being in the captain ability. But if despair is present, that means that he is not locked out of the special bind utility, since it comes from activations and not just captain ability removal. Of course, not a lot of players will go after this Luffy, simply because the New Year Super Sugo Fest came out pretty recently and it's still actually ongoing, so it either drained a lot of your gems, or you are still chasing the Super Sugo Fest legends you want, and you should definitely prioritize them over this Luffy. Since he is a treasure map exclusive legend, he will keep appearing in treasure map Sugo Fests, and hopefully we do see him in a banner as a recommended character alongside Nami and Karina. That would be crazy value for 3 multis in case you miss both of those treasure map legends. His first treasure map exclusive, but yet another Luffy legend, but the combination of Luffy with utility and some damage can almost never be a bad unit, so I will give this Luffy 4 out of 5 stars. One of the 2 new treasure map rare recruits is Q Free Spirit and Striker Nami. She can provide special cooldown reduction for 1 turn, 6 turns of despair removal. She can make her own slot to rainbow, not going through block slots, and depending on the amount you have healed, she can provide an ore boost for Q and Free Spirit units. So essentially she provides the ore boost, Luffy provides the attack boost and the color affinity boost if you activate his special twice in one stage. Nami, if your HP is under 10%, can also provide an attack boost herself. The interesting thing is that her attack boost is not for Q and Free Spirit units, but for Q and Striker units. Her boosting is also for 2 turns, which is actually very good to counter intimidation if present. The thing is, her special cooldown reduction is only for 1 turn, it is universal though, and then after that the main utility she has is despair removal. So I wouldn't say she is amazing, but still decent as a treasure map rare recruit, also considering the fact she is Nami, so she can be attached with good supports, allow access to super type, super class or even EX super specials, and help you with some utility and damage at the same time. She can also remove 1 turn of despair and provide healing from her support for Carrot, Speed, Otama and Shinobu, which is pretty nice if necessary because of the unique characters she can be attached to. I would rate this Nami 3 out of 5 stars. The second treasure map rare recruit is RR Hiyori. She is Free Spirit and Slasher, and fun fact, she is actually not listed in the characters as a requirement to be present in the crew in Luffy's super type. So Nami can help him with super type access, Hiyori cannot, which is pretty weird in my opinion. With her special, she has very niche utility. She can completely remove poison and blindness, and if she has a rainbow or Wano slot, then she can also reduce counter heal and counter RCV duration by 6 turns. That can definitely see uses, but these are not 2 debuffs we see often, and they are also 2 debuffs you can remove with limit break abilities. If you have healed for 30,000 HP or more, then she can boost the base attack of Q, Free Spirit and Slasher units for 2 turns, meaning it can last through intimidation if 1 turn is removed, which is good. Otherwise she only boosts by 1000 for 1 turn, and she also heals by 30% of crew's maximum HP. Extremely niche unit, she can be very helpful if multiple of her utility aspects are needed in a quest or a stage, which actually kind of makes me worried about the treasure map stages, because we know they will be built around these bots and she might be hard to replace. Overall though, outside of the upcoming treasure map, Since she is very niche, I don't think she will see a lot of use because the utility she provides is not needed very often. So I will rate this unit 2 out of 5 stars. And these are all of my thoughts and star ratings for the upcoming Treasure Map Batch. Tell me what you think about the new units in the comments down below, and if you enjoy these kind of videos, definitely leave a like, I would really appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel for more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, and as always, thank you so much for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.